Alright, what's up everybody, and welcome back to Baseballogy 5 takes later, and we are still talking about the MLB, and we are still talking about the average age of basically every division in the MLB. So previously I talked about the American League East, which, as you should know, has the Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Blue Jays, and Tampa Bay Rays. And we kind of talked about like the average age of those teams and kind of what it means with how those teams are doing right now. So if you want to watch that video, please do give it a like. Do that kind of stuff. That would be great. But today we are going to continue on the east side of America, and we are going to stick with the National League East, which has the Mets, Phillies, Braves, Marlins, and Nationals. So just like the last video, we are going to go from youngest to oldest, and this one actually I think is going to be slightly interesting because you have two teams that are tied for the youngest in the National League East. So let's get right into it, shall we? At number one, the two teams that we have tied are the New York Mets and the Miami Marlins. But here's the thing, the National League East is just... It's going to be a very old division. It is a, like... So the Mets and the Marlins are 28.11 years old as of opening day, which is like... I think it's above average. I think the average is usually up in like the high 27s. I think. Maybe high 27s, maybe low 28s. So this might be about average for, the average age in the MLB. I believe last year was around 27 point something, like high 27s. But yeah, so the Mets and the Marlins are both exactly 28.11. Let's first talk about I guess we'll talk about the Mets first. So the Mets have a bunch of guys who, I would say they have a good number of guys who are 30 years old, right? They have Jacob Barnes, 30, Jacob deGrom, 32, Harris Familia, 31, Aaron Loop, 33, Trevor May, 31. Let's see if they have any more. James McCann is 30, and Kevin Pillar is 32. So I believe they have a bunch of like low 30, like they're all low 30s. So they're not insanely old. Like who was it? Rich Hill from Tampa Bay. So they're not insanely old, but they are maybe a year or two past their prime. I'm not sure. But hey, Jacob deGrom, I'm just saying, is having a really great year. His record should definitely not be what it is. 2-2 is just like... It should probably be 4-0. But the Mets seem to just not be able to hit whenever he's pitching. Speaking of him pitching, he's pitching today against the St. Louis Cardinals, and I'm going to be honest, they're probably going to lose. They're probably going to lose, and Jacob deGrom is probably going to give up about 3 runs. Maybe 2. And they're probably going to lose. I don't know why. So now let's go down to the Marlins here. I had to go all the way down because I don't do them in order. Yeah. So now we go down to the Marlins. And like I said, same exact age. But we have Anthony Bass, 33. Richard Blyer, 33. Adam Simber, 30. Ross Detweiler, 35. Dylan Floro, 30. Yimi Garcia, 30. Sandy Leon, 32. Jesus Aguilar, 30. John Birdie, 31. Garrett Cooper, 30. Miguel Rojas, 32. Corey Dickerson, 31. Adam Duvall, 32. So, the question you might have is, how are they tied with the Mets when they pretty much have a crap ton more of 30-year-olds. Here's why. Because the Marlins have a bunch of younger guys also. So they have a guy named Zach Pop, who's 24. Trevor Rogers, 23. Pablo Lopez, 25. Jordan Holloway, 24. They have Isan Diaz, 24. Jose Devers, the cousin of Rafael Devers, he's 21. You know, Magnerius Sierra, if I'm saying that right, 24. Lewis Brinson, 26. And Sandy Alcantara, who I believe is their ace, maybe, not sure, 25, right? So they really, they have quite a bit of young guys versus, like, the Mets, who have, like, if you're going to, like, the Mets' younger guys, their youngest guy is 25, I think. Like, their youngest guy would be probably Dominic Smith or Sean Reed Foley or David Peterson. Like, those three guys are 25 years old, and, you know, I don't know. Like, it kind of amazes me how they're the exact same age. So the Marlins have a few older guys, whereas, like, you know, the Mets, I guess, don't. I don't know. So now let's go to the standings. Let's look at the National League East in terms of their actual standings. Right now we have Washington number 1, 12-12. We have Philadelphia number 2, 14-15, which only puts them a half a game back from first place. We have the Mets 11-12, half a game back. It's weird, right? Games get postponed, so blah, blah, blah. They go off, like, winning percentages and stuff like that. Atlanta is number 4, 12-16, 2 games back. And then 5th is Miami, who is 11-16, 2.5 games back. Now, actually, here's the thing about the NL East that is, like, way different than some of the other divisions. So, like, the National League West, you have four teams who are, like, still slightly close, right? And then you have the Rockies, 7 games back. You go to, like, the AL Central, you have Kansas City, number 1, White Sox 2, Cleveland 3, and then you have Minnesota 5 games back, and then Detroit 9 games back. So, like, in these in the National League East, you have all these teams are, like, pretty close, and you can still see Miami make a good, like, there's 162 games in a season, so Miami could definitely still make a run, and it would not be out of the ordinary, you know. But as of right now, what this tells me is that the Mets and the Marlins are maybe slightly too young. I don't. As of right now, maybe I'm thinking they might be too young, but, like, for that division, I don't know. I just think baseball is a hard sport to predict because just so much. There's so many, like, moving parts. I don't know. So, do I think that average age has, like, a bit of a say in how they do? Yes. Like, I think it has a bit of a, like, when you look at Jacob deGrom being 32, you know, you're thinking he is past his prime. But also, like, he's not. Like, also he's not, because look at how he's doing this year. So I really don't know what to say about it. But with that, let's go on to the next team, which I would believe to be the Braves. The Atlanta Braves are an average of 28.88, which is just about 0.7 above the Mets and Marlins. Quick maths, right? They have a couple young guys. They have, like, Ian Anderson, who is 22. Huascar Yanoa, 22. William Contreras, 23. Ozzie Albies, 24. Austin Riley, 23. Dansby Swanson's like, meh, 27. You know, Ronald Acuna is still somehow 23, even though he plays like a 30-year-old. Christian Pache, 22. So you have some young guys on that team, right? But then listen, you have a bunch of old guys here. So you have Grant Dayton, 33. Nate Jones, 35. Tyler Matzek, 30. Will Smith, 31. Drew Smiley, 31. Josh Tomlin, 36. Jeff Mathis, who was a backup catcher. If you do not know who that is, I don't either. He's 38 somehow. I don't know. Freddie Freeman, 31. Pablo Sandoval, 34. And Ihire Adrianza, 31. And Marcel Ozuna, 30. So they have a bunch of 30-year-olds, right? But they also have like a pretty decent amount of 20-something-year-olds. It's kind of like I don't know what I was doing there, but to kind of like balance it, you know, I guess if that made sense. So you have a bunch of 20-year-olds and you have a bunch of 30-year-olds, and it just kind of evens out to about 28, almost 29 years old. So let's go back to the standings, and Atlanta is 12-16, or 2 games back. I believe that the National League East is probably one of the best divisions in baseball, no matter what. You look at the Mets, the Braves, the Marlins. They were 3 pretty decent teams last year. I think the Mets were kind of shit. I guess like they were pretty shit last year, but in terms of like this year, I think they were a team that's like starting to turn around because they actually put some money into the team. You know, they actually made some like big moves. So yeah, so like I feel like you have a bunch of teams here in the National League East that they're all gonna fight for number 1, number 2, and it's gonna be a fight until game number 162. So I feel like all of these teams are just really good, and you know, I don't know, like maybe them being on the, I would actually say they're probably on the older side, being up into the 28s and the 29s and the 30. I would say that they're actually probably, that the fact that they're older is better for them. So we just finished talking about the Braves. Let's talk about the Phillies. The Phillies had a very interesting series with the Mets and, well, also the Cardinals. So yeah, they've been kind of the talk of the town lately. Yeah, so the Phillies are an average age of 29.03. So they're up in the 29s, but not really. They're like, you know, they're just right there at 29. You have a few young guys. You have Jose Alvarado, 25. Connor Brogdon, 26. I guess that's young. I don't know. Jojo Romero, 24. Let's see. Alec Boehm, 24. Nick Maton, 24. And that's pretty much it. Right? Now let's go to the older guys on the Phillies. Chase Anderson, 33. David Hale, 33. Brandon Kinsler, 36. Matt Moore, 31. Hector Neris, 31. Zach Wheeler, 30. JT Realmuto, 30. Didi is 31. Matt Joyce is 36. Brad Miller is 31. And Andrew McCutchen is 34. So you have like pretty much all your main guys, I think, on the Phillies are like your older guys, right? You're looking at Andrew McCutchen, 34. He starts for them. I'm trying to think of who else starts for them. Obviously, Bryce Harper, 28. Not sure who their other outfielder is. I know they flip-flop between Brad Miller and Scott Kingery, maybe. If I don't know, whatever. But they use Alec Boehm, They use Didi, and they use Reese Hoskins. They use Rio Muto. They use Zach Wheeler, obviously, Aaron Nola. I don't know. I don't know what my point is there. The Phillies use quite a bit of like their older guys in their starting lineups, and that puts them second place in the division, 14 and 15, and half game back out of first place. That only leaves one team left to talk about, and that would be the Washington Nationals. Let's find where I put the Washington Nationals here. Here we go. So the Nationals are so far, I believe, my oldest team that I am going to talk about. I have not finished, obviously, so I don't know what the oldest team will be. So some of your older guys are Patrick Corbin, 31, Paulo Espino, 34, Brad Hand, 31, Daniel Hudson, 34, John Lester, 37, Alex Avila, 34, Yan Gomes, 33, Starlene Castro, 31, Josh Harrison, 33, Jordy Mercer, 34, Hernan Perez, 30, Ryan Zimmerman, 36, Yadiel Hernandez, 33, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. They have a bunch of 30-year-old guys, slightly an old team, I guess. They are up in the 30s, so that would I think make them pretty freaking old. I don't know, but hey, they're also in first place, so maybe that experience is actually helping them. You know, we can't say. I mean, we can't talk crap about them because right now they're 12-12, up in first place. So I don't know, man. Like that's just. But yeah. So with that, we just finished talking about the average age of the National League East. So make sure to like my videos. Make sure to check out all of my other videos. Please make sure to like them. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, please. I don't know. I haven't been very active on this channel, but I am trying a lot more because my school semester is pretty much over, so I should be able to do a lot more videos during the summer. And I also just started a new channel. I haven't put anything up on it yet. It's called Football. It's called Footballogy. Not like Footballogy, but it's Footballogy, American football, National Football League type football. So make sure to, if you want, subscribe to that channel, and you know, I'm gonna try to put some videos up there as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure when that will be, but with that, thank you for tuning into this episode of Baseballogy.